Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. Welcome to all of you. And today is 14th of January 2021, and we are going to discuss the feature news for today, which is on Indian Judiciary, the challenges for future. Indian Judiciary is going through multiple level of challenges at the present times. This is the COVID times when we see increased litigation, which are uh, which are not getting solved in due time, right? There's been an increase of 10 times in the litigation during COVID times and backlog of cases. Not only that, we have also seen in previous articles that the fundings which have been given for judicial infrastructure creation, they have not been utilized by the government. Not only that, we have seen innumerable appointments which were not met during due time in the last 2 years, and suddenly there were a lot of appointments in the Supreme Court. So judicial appointments in question, right? The percentage of vacancies in the lower courts and the top courts, both of them considered here, and alongside the institution of all India Judicial Service. You remember we had covered this article as a feature news just a few days back. We have covered each of these articles: judicial infrastructure as a snapshot, judicial service just a few days back, the increase in litigation, and then we have covered many other schemes. For example, the consideration of e-courts and the institution of a mechanism where the court filing, the court cases will be integrated with the national crime tracking network system, traffic network system, right, with the policing system. So we have covered n number of articles, and now we are looking at the potential challenges for the future that the judiciary is going to face. So let us quickly understand them. Not that they are completely unrelated, they are also related to these crises, right? So let me keep discussing this, but before that, let me welcome Amlan, Hima. Good evening to you. Hi, Netra, Kriti, Ashmita, Babani, Tiasha. Good evening to all of you. All right. We also have Supriya. Hi, Supriya. All right. So it's great to know that you people are actually noting down these points. Very, very nice. Um Ravi says there is no point in noting, but we are making notes. All right. You don't have to make notes on what I am speaking, but you have to make notes from whatever you think is important. Not everything that I am saying is important for answer writing, but it is important for knowing. If you know, that is how it will get stored in your mind, right? It'll get stored. The concepts will be clear, but the keywords have to be noted down. Not right now in the video alongside, but maybe after this, right? But please note down. This is for all of you, and great that you people are doing this. Even if you're delayed, that is fine. That is what weekends are for. Not that we are not covering the articles that come on Saturday and Sunday. We do that as well. That is the reason that we do not provide news uh, per day. We provide a theme wise, right? Theme wise news, right? So Priya, good evening to you. Tiasha, all right. Tiasha notes down while I teach. All right, great. Yeah, to each their own, right? It's not one size fits all. Everybody suits their needs. All right. So, what are the challenges for judiciary for the future? First of all, see, Indian judiciary is going through a problem of getting huge number of cases. So 4 crore plus cases with Indian judiciary, considering the lower courts, high court, Supreme Court, right? Thousands of cases in the Supreme Court, and then we have lakhs of cases in the high court, and then we have crores of cases. We have around 3 crore cases in the lower courts, and only on appeal they come to high court and then Supreme Court. This is one of the challenges. Another challenge that I mentioned was that of COVID times, increase of litigation. Not only that, we see infrastructure, we see specialization of people. So public prosecutors are not specialized in certain dealings, and they are also not defended well, right? The physical dependency and their expertise, they're also in question. So there are various things. Let us quickly discuss each of them one by one, right? Now, uh, first of all, we need domain expert in the judicial system, right? Domain expert. So when we look at the court cases that happen, there are cases, for example, criminal cases where government is always a party. For example, if there was an attempted murder against me, somebody tried to murder me, I do not have to hire a lawyer. The government will give me the public prosecutor, because this is a crime against the law to kill any citizen, to attempt murder any citizen. So we need public prosecutors which are more adept, which are more expert in these criminal matters. So they should be aware of the CRPC, IPC, and all other acts related to criminal cases. Similarly, we need public prosecutors for other specialized crimes. For example, crimes against women, right? For example, prosecutors are required for the litigations, civil cases as well. So this is the point that we need domain expert. So if domain experts do exist, then their evidence, the way they collect the or they analyze the evidence, the way they examine the the persons present in the court, that will be completely different, and this will lead to a better conviction rate. Simple enough. We need domain experts, right? Then there are issues about internet, right? We talk of e-courts, but are the courts having those infrastructure, digital infrastructure? Not all the courts, right? What about the presence of uh, the ever present issue of disparity in access of online media? Even if courts are online, but justice is not served in rural areas, right? And then there are emerging technologies, for example, artificial intelligence, metaverse, now where people are interacting with virtual world. So this is where even the court infrastructure and the court setup or the law itself is lagging behind. There are so many laws we have not updated which are related to the updated technology. Syllabus की books update नहीं होती हैं, laws update नहीं होती हैं. So we are in a place where we are not able to solve these kind of problems, right? A very simple problems on these front are very tough when it comes to delivering justice, right? So for example, crimes relating to money laundering, right, still not understood well because of multiple layers in which money is laundered, right? This is another issue that the court have to deal in, and the court will have to form a special court to deal with money launderings, because not all the judges are adept or they're fully versed with these kind of issues, right? Another issue here is the rise of quasi-judicial bodies like Competition Commission of India, TRAR, TRI, SEBI, and then there are so many other tribunals which get formed, right? There are times when they deliver good justice, speedy justice, and quicker justice. But there are times when their justice delivery is also questioned, and this also leads to further complications in the complete justice delivery procedure. Right. So this is another issue that is related to specialized regulatory bodies. Their intention is good, but then sometimes they are not able to deliver the proper justice. This adds to the issues of the whole system. Right. What about the issues that the legislature provides them? Legislature sometimes does not legislate with proper deliberation. बात नहीं करते हैं, law बना देते हैं. तो अगर वो है, if that is the case, then the judiciary has to deal with increased litigations on those cases also, right? A good example of this is the one that related to the farm laws, right? There were cases in the judiciary, right? Then there are various other issues. For example, UPSC के साथ भी हुआ था, UPSC, and then they were changed on syllabus, and there were a lot of litigations. Extension of 2 year for all the civil servants, appear people who are appearing for the exam aspirants. So if the legislation is well considered, then there'll be lesser litigations with the court, lesser burden on the court, right? There are cases where it is said कि bail will be granted to people, bail will be granted, and bail will be granted on subjective analysis by the court. If this is happening, then court will have more number of cases to hear these bail pleas. If they're objective grounds of the legislation, then number of confusions, number of litigations will decrease. So this is called as a well considered legislation and not so well considered legislation. Give examples here, right? Executive sometimes is not cooperative. Why? Because the president is the one who finally appoint the higher officials in the judiciary, right? So the judges in high court and supreme court, and if they do not put a signature on the recommendations of the um, of the judiciary, then there are no appointments, and quite a lot of appointments were hanging for the last 2 years because of this reason, right? The criminal justice system, it is not fully empowered as of now. What are we talking of? We are talking of collection of evidences. If evidences are not there, people go scot free. Forensic, if evidence has been collected properly, forensic labs are not there, where we investigate these kind of issues and provide proper evidence against crime activity. So blood spatter analysis, right, analysis of the DNA samples, all these things have to be existent, they are not there, right. Empowerment of the police persons here, आ जाओ यहाँ पर Malamut committee, again it comes into picture, right. Separation of the law and order segment with investigation segment. To a certain degree it has happened, but not fully. For example, अगर इस थाने के अंदर एक, there has been an issue, uh, a sub inspector might be into law and order, they have gone to handle the riots at some places, another day they will be asked to investigate a particular case, investigate. So we need separation between both of them, because the person in investigation cannot indulge in other activities. If they do, there can be conflict of interest also. Plus, these are both specialized activities. So criminal justice system is not completely effective right now. Right? These are some keywords that you can take away from this article, right? Um for example, accountability of investigators, right. So if we do not have the forensic evidence, if we do not have proper conclusion drawn from the crime scene, then the judge will not be able to deliver justice. It is often said that the criminal and the person who is accused and the person who is the victim, they all know who the actual criminal is. The judge doesn't know it, right. They all know who is the actual criminal, and who is to find out? The judge is to find out, and this justice system gets delayed because of the whole process, right. So process could be related to technical issues of investigation as well, right. Newer threats to judiciary. Just a few weeks back there was a case where a judge, it was found that it was a deliberate attempt to murder, and that person was the judge was killed, right, when an auto struck him from behind. It was recorded in a video camera. So these are new threats to judges. In fact, if you're aware, judges are, it is a mandate for them not to venture out and have a social life, because of their non-partisan nature. They protect the constitution, right. They take a note to protect the constitution, and that is the reason that they have to keep aloof from the society. So in usual practice, they would not venture out in society and keep claiming that they're a judge. They will never do that. In fact, we will hardly find judges moving out in social spaces. Similarly, when you join the public services as suppose IPS officer or IS officer, they will be they will be little there will be some authorities, there will be some conditions that you will have to follow as far as freedom of speech is concerned. If you are the um, PRO, public relations officer, then only you will be allowed to speak to media. Otherwise, you cannot represent your opinion in social media or in media. Otherwise, same goes for judiciary, right? Judiciary also goes through the issue of media trials. Whenever the case is present before the judiciary, media has already tried the case, and media presents humongous pressure on the judiciary, maybe partisan pressure. Example of this is, for example, Salman Khan. Salman Khan, if it has been said in the media that he has been convicted of the crime, even if he is not convicted, the media has done it, people know, and then if the judiciary gives a verdict opposite to it, then there'll be an issue with it. Or if it has been said in, this is only an example, no intention to demean anybody here. So if it has been said that Salman Khan is actually a victim, he's not the actual accused, he's not the accused, but the judiciary gives opinion exactly opposite of it, the judge is actually under huge media pressure, right, of the whole nation. And these cases, for example, Jodhpur case that resulted into the black buck killing. Imagine the case before that particular judge, that session court judge, and a person of stature of the whole nation watching this case. This is the kind of media trial we are talking of, which should not happen, right? And uh, so these are the persistent problems in judiciary which are only going to get magnified, right? The problems of uh, new technology, new kind of technology, and less legislations regarding that. These are the kind of problems that the judiciary is going to face in the coming times, right? So looking at the judicial vacancies, right, around 30% of vacancies in the lower courts, and they are sufficient in higher courts as well. Judicial infrastructure, this is the reason that there was a recommendation of creation of state and central judicial infrastructure authorities under under the judiciary, not under the executive, because judges should be able to determine what kind of infrastructure they need and the spending that they need, right? So they will be able to handle the electronics, the infrastructure, the human resources under them directly, right? Then the pendency of the cases, right? There's leave during summer and winters. Those leaves should get curtailed for judges, right, so that they're able to solve these cases. Not only that, there should be mechanisms for alternate dispute redressal. Remember, ADR, we had covered this. We had also covered mechanisms for alternate dispute redressal, or online dispute redressal online. Both the mechanisms are important for the future. A good example of this is the lok adalats. Now, lok adalats have got the capacity of a civil court, and they can take up family matters, family issues, and the there is no appeal against lok adalat courts judgments, and people can go there and they can get their cases solved expediently, right? And in case the people have filed this case in other courts also, the money will be returned back in case the case has been successfully solved by the lok adalat. So these are the alternate dispute redressal mechanisms that should be utilized to reduce the pendency of courts, right? It is under nalsa act that these lok adalats were created. All right, so these are certain solutions that you can utilize, right? There has to be increase in judges population ratio. Right now, for 10 lakh we have got only 20 judges, around 20 judges. Have a look, 21 judges per million per 10 lakh. So this needs to increase, right? And case management, if you remember, the chief justice has got the uh, you know uh, they can allot the particular case to a particular judge. So this case management has to be done with a rationale. It has to be done with the efficiency in mind, with the efficiency or the expertise of a particular judge in mind, right? There has to be a creation of national judicial data grid, right? Data grid which contains the pending cases. And there has also been an idea to integrate with the national crime and criminal tracking system, right? So that the police and the judiciary are well aware of each other's happenings, right? But there have been questions of privacy also here. Suppose the question of privacy is this: let's suppose the question or case has been already solved, but the police still has the data of that person, where they live, and what is their economy, what is their family status. So this can be misutilized even after the person has been acquitted, or after they have gone through the whole jail sentence, right? So this is National Judicial Data Grid. Now, how to counter these challenges? Just the opposite. Infrastructure नहीं है तो create करेंगे. अगर vacancies हैं तो create करेंगे. If there are less legislations, there has to be more legislation. If public prosecutor is being not efficient, then they have to be more efficient. They have to be protected, right? There has to be better coordination with the executive. Independence of public prosecutors have to be maintained. Safety of judges, right? Regulating media trials. So these are certain kind of uh, very very good reforms that have to be suggested, right? Strengthening virtual courts, strengthening alternate dispute redressal mechanisms. Okay, answer, right? So this is how you will be able to answer. And let me show you a quick image here. Now, uh, see, to increase the strength of judiciary, you can answer the recommendations through this: to keep the courts open throughout the year, proper modernization of courts, introduction of fast track courts for specific cases, women related cases or sexual exploitation related cases, to do away with archaic laws or those laws which are conflictory in nature, and a non-acceptance of the flippant cases, those erroneous cases, right? Those cases can be done away with. So this is how you can look at the complete ecosystem of dispensing justice properly, the kind of problems that judiciary is facing and it might face in future, and how should it get ready, right? So what did we study here? We understood the data about pendency of cases. Some data becomes very important. We studied the issues that judiciary is facing right now and the possible issues that it can face in future. Multiple, right? Human resources, technology, laws, executive, media, the issues that relate to infrastructure, issues that relate to alternate dispute resolution, right? Technology issues, and how they can be solved in the coming times. Ekdam kuch nahi hai, just opposite to this. You know the issues, you will be able to solve them, right? And we also studied some innovative ways in which it can be presented, right? So this is how we study an issue like the problems with the judiciary. The question for today is, Indian judicial system faces challenges at multiple fronts. That's true. Elaborate. What can be effective mechanisms to ameliorate these challenges? It's fairly simple, right? So an article like this provides many inputs for you whenever recommendations for judiciary are there. ये मालूमात कमेटी यहाँ भी डाल सकते हो. All right. So let me see if there are questions that you have here or some comments. Ravi says, "Sir, I'm afraid you misread." All right, 19 judges per turn lakh. Yeah, that's true. That's true. 19 judges per 10 lakh. Absolutely true. Okay. Government litigation constitutes 46% of total litigation. Absolutely true. Government is a participant in many of the cases, many civil cases and criminal cases both. Why? Just say, if we had discussed, if you remember, we had discussed the land reforms, no? The defense, government had mapped all the defense land. So many of the cases are civil cases in which government is one of the party because the cases are against the government because of litigations, right? That's true. All right. Jharkhand judge, absolutely true. Um Asim says Justice Chandrachud has recommended artificial intelligence as solution. Yes. All right. There's also been another, Indianization of judiciary. Indianization of judiciary. If you want to read, you should read about this. Indianization of judiciary has been proposed lately. I saw this in the newspapers. Just type this on Google. You will get some, understanding what they mean to say through this judiciary. All right. So what I want you guys to do is to create short notes about all this that we have studied so that you are thorough with at least these important points. Give some examples with regard to each of them, right? And these points are not less, they're all sufficient to be able to answer a question related to judiciary. See, once you look at the past year questions or this year question, you will be able to understand that questions are not tough. The idea is to present the required data in a format, right, with pinpointed issues with examples in limited time. That's it, because there are 20 questions to be served. So that is why we are simplifying this whole process for you. Pick up the keywords and prepare notes and try to remember them all, right? This is what is required. All right. So you like this effort, share some love through likes, comments and shares. And this is Friday, we will meet on Monday. Till then, I would like you to complete your note making process, and for God's sake, please revise it. You revise it because I'm in the process of creation of reports of what were the questions which are asked and map it with Edukemy's resources. Numerous questions, 18, 19, 18. These are the kind of questions out of 20 that have come through our resources, and this is true. This report will be present on the website for you all to see. You can counter check also. Point I'm making is ये यहीं से निकलेगा. Your answer will come from these sources only. So please make notes. Otherwise, after 6 months, after 1 year, you will do the same exercise and you will start right then. The advantage that you get here right now is the initial mover advantage, because then later I will not be repeating everything. I will ask you to refer to those articles. Right now you have the initial mover advantage, so please prepare the notes and you will see the difference in a couple of months itself, right? So thank you for participation, Asim and Amlan, Netra, Babani, Kriti. Happy weekend. But yes, weekend is not only chutti. One day is for revision. Another day, yes, you can utilize for watching a couple of movies if you want to. Connect back to your family, friends, right? Have a jolly time. Spend time in a way that you do not catch corona for yourself. And I will see you back on Monday. But prepare notes. All right. This is the most important thing that I can give you as an input. Monday, Gulabi Aankhein on guitar. All right. Bye bye. Good night, everybody. All right. See you. There are questions, please put them down. Thank you for being a participant. Good night.